how I was able to take $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 literally between about 19 days. My name is Ashley Wright. I am the CEO and founder of The Right Success and Study Cryptos. I am a speaker as well as a personal development coach and business coach. And I'm so passionate about helping people get to the next level in their life as well as in their business. Okay. And of course, I am in the cryptocurrency blockchain technology space. So I actually teach people how to take advantage and make money with the cryptocurrency space, right? It's very, very new, but it's very, very exciting as well. So I'm very excited to have everybody joining us today. Now, keep in mind, of course, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency today. And I do also want to let you know, like, I never thought about getting into cryptocurrency. Like, the way that I got involved literally was through my parents. Okay, they're entrepreneurs. And I always heard them talking about Bitcoin, talking about online wallets. And at first, I'm like, what are they talking about? They literally sound crazy right now. Digital currency, Bitcoin. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just give it a try. And this was back in 2016, right before we had that massive first wave. And, I got started. I put about $300 into, purchasing Bitcoin. And then I totally forgot about it for months. Like, I totally just forgot. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to check on that Bitcoin thing because I put some money away in there, right? I just want to check on that investment. And that's literally what I did. So I went back online, checked my wallet. And when I checked it, the $300 turned to close to $900 just within a few months. Okay. And so honestly, like when I saw that, I was mind blown. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did, but I need to do that again, right? And literally ever since then, I have just been so excited about the space, as well as really focused on starting to educate people on how to get involved, but also how to get involved the right way. Okay, because a lot of people get excited. There's lots of trends. A lot of people just want to be a part of the trends and throw money at it. But you have to make sure you're doing it the right way so you can get the results that you're looking for. Okay, so yes, cryptocurrency is very, very exciting. Please, please, please do me a favor. In the chat box, just drop a 1 in the chat box if you already have invested or traded Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. If you've already invested in it, already bought some, just drop a 1 in the chat. I want to know who's already in the space, who's already buying, who's already investing, and get a good idea of who's really involved already. So that's amazing. And so you have a lot of people that are involved in the cryptocurrency space. I love it. I love it. If you haven't invested yet, don't worry. If you're new, that's totally fine, right? This is still a great time to get involved, and you're still very, very early. So do not panic. You're still good. Okay. Now, keep in mind, they call me the crypto queen. However, I literally changed my name to the crypto strategy queen because strategy is literally that thing that's just so important if you want to be successful with anything, right? They always say success is planned. So even when it comes to getting involved in cryptocurrency, it's so important to have a strategy because there's so many different ways to actually make money with crypto, okay? Now, keep in mind, there's gonna be a lot of great information. If you don't have a pen and paper, I'm gonna give you like 30 seconds to go get pen and paper because you have to take notes and some of this great information, okay? So as I mentioned, there are tons of great ways to make money in cryptocurrency. And I always like to keep things very, very, very simple. And I always believe that if you have it, if you take your strategy and you have it in steps, like step 1, 2, and 3, it makes it a lot easier to understand what you need to do. Because as you start to dive in, you'll notice that there is so many different trends, so many different exciting cryptocurrencies, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed, okay? And so I always try to keep it very, very simple. and very structured in a way that you can follow those easy steps and be able to stay focused and achieve your goal and achieve your, your strategy. Okay. So as I mentioned, the 3 ways, and the only 3 ways you're able to make money with cryptocurrency, okay, there's only 3. And the very first way is actually what I call investing in cryptocurrency. Now with this literally means that you are buying and holding these cryptocurrency assets and a more long-term perspective, right? Allowing them to literally appreciate over time, right? Have them increase their value, and then your investment also increases over time, right? This, of course, is more of a long-term play. It can be more of a short-term, but usually it's long-term, okay? The second method in terms of how you're able to make money with cryptocurrency is by trading cryptocurrency. Now, this means you're buying, you're selling different currencies in a way that allows you to profit. And what's really important about this strategy is the fact that now, you can actually profit on the day-to-day movements of the market, right? So cryptocurrency is very, very volatile, which means that it moves a lot. It can go up or down, increase or decrease by thousands of dollars in a very short period of time. And while it's doing that, if you're trading, you can make money on those day-to-day movements versus having to wait, long term to see significant growth. Okay. Now, what's really unique is there's lots of different styles of trading. Some of the styles of trading that I like to focus on actually allows you to make money even if the price goes down. Okay, I'm going to say that again because that's what really got me really excited. Certain styles of trading, you can actually make money when the price drops. So literally a couple of days ago when Bitcoin dropped significantly, myself as well as my students and my team were able to make money as Bitcoin dropped because we were trading it, right? So I always recommend this method, especially because it's a short term. You can make money now with crypto with that method. And then the final way to make money with cryptocurrency is finding ways to get paid in crypto or to earn cryptocurrency passively. These are the 3 main income streams of cryptocurrency. Okay. So if you do have questions, like I said, definitely feel free to put them in the chat. And like I said, this is going to be a lot of great information, but I really want to keep it simple for those that are new to the space or are still learning how to really dominate the space. Okay. So of course, we're going to be talking a bit of an introduction. We're going to be talking about the evolution of money. What is cryptocurrency? We're going to touch a little bit on blockchain, and we're also going to look at opportunities for you to create wealth and how to really do that. Okay. Now, understanding, yes, cryptocurrency is exciting, but why should you really want to get involved? Okay. Now, when you think about all the organizations and companies that are successful, that have really disrupted the industry, right? They have all had vision. They all have vision and understand, the bigger picture of it. And when we start to think about, the evolution of money and where it's really going, this is what gets me excited. Right. And when we think about money itself, understand that money is really just an exchange of goods that hold value. And it really goes back to what society trusts and what society deems valuable. Okay. So when we think about how money has looked, or what money has looked like over the years, right? We had trades, we had gold, we had metal coins. We even shifted to cash like banknotes, right? Then we went over to plastic, where debit cards, credit cards, and now people are literally tapping their phone, tapping their watch, and being able to pay. And really, people aren't using cash anymore. And now, especially with the pandemic going on, people are sticking to digital currency now, right? It's becoming a cashless society. And there's even institutions around the world that literally, because of the pandemic, have stopped taking cash. Right. So it's only natural that we have, the next natural thing to have would be a digital currency. And the only real difference between, the digital currency, cryptocurrency, and our regular currency, right, which we refer to as fiat currency. And just keep in mind for those that are new, and this is a term you're going to hear a lot, fiat currency is really just referring to, a legal backed tender, right, that's government backed or government issued. So essentially it'd be like the US dollar, Canadian dollar, yen, pounds, these different currencies, right, issued by the government, right? That's what we call fiat currency. And so when we think about some of the, differences between fiat currency and cryptocurrency, or rather some of the limitations of fiat currency, a lot of it is really how it's managed, right? we think about the currency we have today, they tell you, a limit in terms of how much money you can send, how much you can spend per day or spend per week, right? And then you have bank fees as well, just to be able to hold your funds. And there's so many different limitations as well, right? And now, with everything that's going on with the pandemic, they're constantly printing more and more money. And this is really devaluing our funds, our currency. And so this is really the perfect time as to why cryptocurrency has been moving so fast, why people are so excited about it, okay? And so just understand that with crypto, there's so much opportunities, and you really have the opportunity now to actually be your own bank. And to be honest, when I first got into cryptocurrency, my main goal was just to make money, right? Being able to take advantage of this, to be able to make money. But then I had the opportunity to actually, be in the same room as one of the co-founders of Ethereum, Anthony Diario, and he really painted the picture for me in terms of what's actually possible on a larger scale. And we started to talk about the fact that there's tons of people all around the world that don't even have access to financial services or financial institutions. And when you start to think about cryptocurrency and what it does, it gives a lot of opportunity to those people, because all they need essentially is internet, and they're able to be their own bank, right? They can have digital currency now, use however they want. I can literally send money to someone anywhere around the world without having to worry about that middleman. And that's what's really, really exciting, okay? And provides a lot of opportunities. Now, the one thing to keep in mind when it comes to crypto is understand that there are literally thousands of different cryptocurrencies out there, okay? And understand, yes, Bitcoin is the first as well as the largest cryptocurrency. It is very, very, very exciting. It is moving so fast. Literally, as I was looking at the charts the other day, I'm like, if you look at the price point of Bitcoin, literally like around Boxing Day around Boxing Day or so, compared to literally 30 days later, it literally doubled, right? Which is huge. And now you're looking at it now and it's still moving very, very fast, okay? So this is still a great time to get involved. Now, another key term that you really need to write down and understand is the term of decentralization or decentralized. You're going to hear this term a lot in the space. And if you want to create wealth, you need to understand this concept. Okay. And this is really going back to the idea of you becoming your own bank. So decentralized or decentralization really just means the transfer of authority from one party or one central organization to many. Right. So when we think about cryptocurrency, and we kind of talked about it right now, fiat currency is very centralized. There's lots of limitations in terms of what we can do with it. But now having a decentralized currency, we're really able to focus on, the powers in our hands. We can be our own bank, use the money and currency however we please. And that's really what is really, really exciting. Okay. Now, I do want to kind of share with you some quick key information. I'm actually going to share my screen with you in terms of some resources, some platforms that I personally use to be able to do some research and even be able to start learning about cryptocurrency as well. Okay, if you can see my screen, okay, you should be able to see a website showing lots of different cryptocurrencies. If you can see my screen, please just drop some ones in the chat. If you're still excited, definitely drop some ones in the chat. This is one of my favorite platforms, okay? It is called coingecko.com. If you're new, you should be writing that down, okay? This is a great platform, a free platform that provides you a lot of information about all the different cryptocurrencies out there, as well as a great place to start doing your research, okay? So as soon as you go to this website, they literally list out the top 100 cryptocurrencies based on market cap. So of course you can see here, we have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, Cardano, lots of great projects, right? And understand that there's tons of cryptocurrencies out there and they all fall into different categories, okay? So it's really important as you start to put together your investment portfolio, understanding, what project you're really investing in, what is it about? Does it have a great use case? Does it have a purpose, right? Before you actually put your money into it, okay? Now, like I said, this is a great website. It gets a lot of great information. If I was to, click on one of the projects, let's try and click on like Chainlink here, another great project. Now you can see it actually gives you a lot of great information about that specific cryptocurrency. Okay, it tells you what the current price point is. If you actually want to access their website, you literally can access the website here, right? Which is super cool. The one thing I want to, keep in mind, or want you guys to keep in mind, is because this is something very new, you have to be very, very careful about which platforms, which websites you're using, because there are a lot of fake websites out there, okay? And so you have to really keep that in mind. And why I love CoinGecko is that it actually provides you the real authentic website for that project, okay? And so like I mentioned, you can click there, which is great. You can scroll down. You can see the all-time high, which you can see about $36. All-time low, you can see the chart itself, right? In terms of the returns, and everything that you really need is here. As you scroll down some more, it even gives you a quick little intro about the project and what it's really about, okay? Now, in terms of buying cryptocurrency, it really depends on where you're located, okay? So I know we have people, like I said, literally from all over, Toronto, Baltimore, New York, Mexico, all over the world, right? If you are in Canada, one of my favorite platforms to use is a platform called ShakePay, okay? Now, ShakePay is absolutely amazing. It literally is probably one of the fastest ways to get cryptocurrency. Like that. Literally, that's why I love it. Because whenever I need to go into the market or I need to purchase a cryptocurrency really, really fast, I can literally buy crypto within minutes. Okay. Now, what's also great, and I literally just dropped the link in the chat. It's only available in Canada. So sorry to everybody else. Okay. But it is only available in Canada. And the great thing is with this, as I mentioned, yes, it's really fast, but there's also a feature where you can actually earn Bitcoin as well. Now, yes, it's not a lot. It's not a significant amount, but you're still earning free Bitcoin, which is amazing. So literally, if you go onto the app and you just shake your phone, okay, it'll pop up. I already did my shaking for today, but you can see you just earned Bitcoin. I already did it, right? And literally, if you maintain a streak, if you do it every single day, you earn a little bit more and more every day, which is amazing, but it's totally free. And this is why, one of the reasons why I also love it, okay? The other thing is to keep in mind is if you are in the US, I think one of the most popular platforms as well would probably be like Cash App is really a great way to get cryptocurrency easily. You can also use other platforms like Binance or Coinbase or crypto.com are great platforms that you can get your hands on some crypto right away. And like I mentioned, depending on where you're located, some platforms might be a little bit better for you than others. The one thing that I really want you to be cautious of is you want to stay away from platforms like Robinhood or platforms like Wealthsimple, which I know is the equivalent here in Canada. But the reason I say that is those platforms, yes, technically you can buy Bitcoin on there, but you do not own your Bitcoin. Okay, they're literally allowing you to purchase Bitcoin from them. You're able to hold it, make your profits, but once you're ready to actually take out that Bitcoin, you have to sell it back to them and then take your profits back out. You don't actually have full ownership. So if you have the Bitcoin and you want to actually send it to someone else, you don't have that option using those platforms. So just keep that in mind. And that's why I recommend some of these platforms that I just talked about, because you will have that ability to actually send Bitcoin to other people and you actually have that sense of ownership over it. Okay. See some questions here. How can you detect a fraud site? Very good question. I always say to use resources like CoinGecko because it literally has all the links on there for you. So if you're looking to get information about a specific platform, like I mentioned, if you want to click the website is right there for you. And so this is probably the best place to start. But you also want to make sure you're doing your research and just be cautious of the platform that you're using. Okay. Let's see. I think it's Talisha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name properly. Crypto rule, not your keys, not your crypto. I love it. And that is so true, right? Ownership in cryptocurrency is literally everything. Okay. And we'll kind of dive into that a little bit as well. The two platforms I said to be careful of, Harry, is Wealthsimple as well as Robinhood. So Wealthsimple is usually here in Canada, Robinhood is in the US, and they're very similar, but they don't give you actual ownership over your cryptocurrency. Okay. Now, the other thing that I really wanted to mention, as you start to research different cryptocurrencies as well, keep in mind that another really cool feature is you'll see it has this thing called tags. Okay. Now that tags feature literally tells you which category that cryptocurrency falls into. Because as I mentioned, there's tons of different cryptocurrencies out there. And this literally will help to break it down for you and kind of tell you which category it literally falls into. So what's really cool, we see Chainlink is what we call an Oracle token. And if I actually click on that word Oracle, it's now going to show me a list of all the different cryptocurrencies that do exactly the same thing as Chainlink, right? Now you get an idea of its competitors, and you can get a good idea of where does that cryptocurrency rank when in terms of all the other Oracle tokens. And as we look at it here, you can see that Chainlink is literally number one in terms of the top Oracle, right? In terms of all the different cryptocurrencies that do the exact same thing as Chainlink, Chainlink is number one. And even when we look at 24-hour volume or market cap, you can see that the next competitor, UMA, is not even nowhere close to it. So Chainlink is really, really leading the pack. And that's what's so, so important, okay? So I know we kind of talked about different ways to be able to purchase cryptocurrency and actually start investing, but we did talk a little bit about how ownership is so important. So yes, you can buy crypto on, Binance, Coinbase, and all these different exchanges. But in terms of storing your crypto, you want to make sure you're storing it somewhere where, you actually have ownership over it. One of my favorite platforms is actually called Exodus. Okay. Now, this is what we call a hot wallet. It's really easy to access your cryptocurrency, but you have full ownership over your cryptocurrency. And what I mean by ownership is if you think about Binance or Coinbase or any of these platforms, a lot of the times, right, some of the limitations or the cons is the fact that you have to do the whole KYC process. They want your name, your address, your ID, everything in order to have an account, right? On top of that, if something happens to that platform, whether they get hacked or whether something happens and the government wants to look into them and their account, their website is frozen, right? Your funds is also lost or frozen alongside with them, right? And so you don't have full ownership over it. But now using a platform like Exodus that actually is decentralized and gives you, the private keys that we kind of talked about, you have full ownership over your investment, right? And you don't have to worry about some of that limitations, okay? So this is a free wallet. You literally can download it onto your computer, which is phenomenal. You can see here, it is literally very, very user-friendly, very easy, and lots of great features on it as well. It literally will tell you, your best or even worst performing asset within the past 24 hours. You can literally see everything about your portfolio. And if you are interested in downloading it, like I said, you can click on Get Exodus Now. I see a great question. It says, does Exodus do the same thing as Ledger? So they are very similar, and once again, this is why I say strategy is so important, because depending on what your goal is in crypto, and depending on how you're going to be using your cryptocurrency, that also determines what type of wallet you should get. So Exodus is one type of wallet. We would call that like a hot wallet. Ledger or Treasure wallet, we would call that like a cold wallet. And they have different purposes as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you are looking to get Exodus, I highly recommend at least getting it on your desktop first before getting it on the phone. Okay, you don't necessarily even need to get on your phone, right? Because like I said, you want to kind of limit the amount of access to your cryptocurrency, right? You don't need to have it on your phone and your laptop. And your phone, of course, you're always connected to different Wi-Fi's. You're always on the go. So it's just a little bit more secure to have it on your desktop. But as soon as you go here and click on download, you'll have the different options to download and grab that, okay, which is super cool. If you do need help setting that up, like I said, message me. I'll be more than happy to help. And just understand as well that it really goes back to everything that I'm sharing with you today goes back to your strategy, okay? And when I'm doing my one-on-one consultations or having those calls, right, talking about defining your strategy, some of the things you want to think about is, like I said, what is your goal? Your goal, right? Everybody, of course, wants to make money in crypto, right? That's the reality. But why? What is that deeper reason as to why you're trying to make extra funds, right? To give you an example, one of my clients that I got to sit down with and we had that conversation, they told me that they would like to be able to save up for a house, right? So we created a strategy. They understood, had the right expectations, had their goal, their game plan, everything put together. And they were able to really grow their investment through different ways. And as they did that, they were able to actually use those profits and actually put that towards purchasing their new house, which now I'm so excited for them, because literally this is the opportunity that you have, taking advantage of cryptocurrency. And yes, of course, you can invest in stocks and different other types of assets. But to be honest, and if you do your research, cryptocurrency literally is the best performing asset, regardless of how volatile it is, okay? And just understand at the same time, this is not something you're gonna get involved with and get rich quick, right? The idea is not to get rich quick, it's definitely to build wealth and build generational wealth. And building true wealth takes time, right? But it is also sustainable once you build it correctly. And that's what today's conversation is all about, okay? I literally did a workshop, literally yesterday. So for those that are joining for the second time, welcome back. But yes, yesterday's workshop was a little bit more of an advanced conversation, but I also showed them how, you're able to use the investment strategy if you're willing to take a little bit more high risk, that is, okay? Using an investment strategy that's a little bit more short term, you can actually take advantage of the market and make significant income as well. So literally yesterday's workshop was literally breaking down how I was able to take $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 literally between about 19 days, right? And as I mentioned, I broke it down for them, but that strategy is a little bit more in terms of a high risk play. And that's why it's so important to ask yourself those questions. How much risk are you willing to take, right? And kind of going back to the list here on CoinGecko, right? Depending on how much risk you're willing to take, that will determine which currencies you should invest in, because some of them are riskier than others. Some of them aren't as risky, right? And as you start to really put together your portfolio, you also want to make sure it's diverse between, cryptocurrencies that are high risk and some that aren't. So what I would love you to do, okay, just drop a 1 in the chat if you currently have invested in at minimum 5 different cryptocurrencies. So if you've already invested in at least 5 cryptocurrencies, just drop some 1s in the chat. I'm curious to see, how diverse or how aggressive some people have been towards really diversifying their portfolio, which is awesome. Okay, so I see you have a few people, which is perfect. Awesome. So that's awesome. That's perfect. That's perfect. So the one thing I will also mention as well is Bitcoin and Ethereum are still at great price points, okay? Yes, some may say it's expensive, but when it comes to something being expensive, that really just goes back to perspective, right? If right now you're looking at Bitcoin at 47K and you knew without a shadow of a doubt that it's gonna get to 500K, is it still expensive, right? And to be honest, a lot of us actually believe that it's going to get to 300, 500K and more, right? And the great thing is you don't need $47,000 just to get involved, right? You can actually purchase a fraction of cryptocurrency or of Bitcoin, right? Even if you had just $10, you can put that $10 into Bitcoin and you'll just get $10 worth of Bitcoin, okay? Another platform actually that I'll bring up for you that I think is really, really helpful. CoinMarketCap literally is very similar to CoinGecko, okay? But they have this really cool feature that I honestly use very often, but they have a cryptocurrency converter as well that can kind of give you an idea of some of the price points when you want to look at exchanging different cryptocurrencies. So if you do go to coinmarketcap.com and you go over to products, okay, literally the first option, the converter here, will take you to this page. And now this gives you a good idea in terms of how much, the exchange between some of these different currencies. So let's do the other way around. Let's say I just had like $10 US that I wanted to put into crypto, specifically in Bitcoin. This decimal amount here, this is how much Bitcoin I would be getting, right? So as I mentioned, you do not need to buy or purchase a full Bitcoin. If you can, that's great, right? But at the same time, you don't have to. Right? So regardless of how much you have, the goal really is just to get started, get involved, okay? And I know we kind of touched on the 3 different ways to make money with cryptocurrency. And I really want to kind of reiterate that because it's so important that, deciding to create generational wealth with this, you really have to take advantage of every aspect. Okay, so we talked about investing in crypto, which is more long-term. We talked about trading crypto, right, which is more short-term, and then also earning. Okay, so kind of shifting over to the trading aspect, especially if you're new to trading in general, right? I personally always recommend that you want to find platforms or academies that provide what we call trade signals or trade alerts. Okay, I'm actually going to pull this up for you so you guys can see. If you don't have me on Instagram, definitely feel free to add me. I'm always posting different content on there. But I actually made a post literally showing people how they can how they can actually trade cryptocurrency literally in 5 steps, okay? And break it down really, really easy, very, very simple. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. So this post right here. So you may have to scroll down just a little bit, but literally I break it down in 5 steps how you can actually start trading cryptocurrency if you are using trade alerts. Now, trade alerts or trade signals are literally a notification that will go right to your phone that tells you which currency to trade, what price point to get in the market, and what price point to get out of the market. And literally to start trading, that is all the information that you need to start trading. That's it. Okay. So taking advantage of getting access to that type of information that's credible, that has a great track record, that is, right? Getting access to that allows you to actually start making money from day one while you're still learning. So for myself, when I wanted to start, learning how to trade, I'm looking at so many different platforms. A lot of them cost thousands of dollars just to be able to start learning how to trade. But really, you only make money once you finish the program and once you start trading on your own, right? But with trade alerts, you can make money from day one and still make money while you're learning how to do it yourself. And that's why I say it's so powerful, okay? So just kind of looking at this example, just going to go through it real quick here. This is literally an example that I literally just copied and pasted from my phone. Okay. So of course, like I said, I currently leverage, these trade alerts, and literally this is what one of the trade alerts look like. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so everybody can see. But literally with this, it tells you once again, which currency you're trading, right? Like I said, this example is Bitcoin versus the US dollar. It tells you what type of trade, which like I mentioned, with this specific style of trading, you can make money whether the price goes up or goes down. So if you are, doing a buy trade, you're buying it while the price is low and then you're selling it when the price goes up. Okay. But like I said, you can make money the opposite as well. So if, the price point is really high and you think it's going to drop, then you're taking a sell trade. And in this scenario with this alert, you can see we're taking a sell trade. They also tell you what we call the entry price, okay, which is literally like the entry zone of when you should get into the market. They also give you what we call a stop loss, which is so, so amazing. Because picture this, right? Imagine, let's use the same example here. In this trade alert, it's saying that Bitcoin is going to drop and we're going to make money on the drop. But what happens if the market goes the opposite direction and it actually goes up instead, right? Now your stop loss is literally a really amazing automatic feature where you can set it at a certain price. And if the price does the opposite of what you expected, it'll automatically take you out of the trade and stop your losses for you, which is huge, okay? And a lot of this is automatic. And then the last thing that you're able to get is to take profit in terms of, let's say the market goes in the direction that you believe it's gonna go in, right? At what price point do you want to take your profit at? And all that information is given to you. So if you're brand new, this is perfect because you don't need to learn how to do the market analysis just yet in order for you to profit, okay? I see a couple questions here. I've heard people say it's a full-time job to trade. Your thoughts? It's a great point. Honestly, when it comes to trading, it's all about, that decision is really up to you, right? Some people treat it like that way and actually want to do it full-time and spend, a full 8 hours. For myself, I'm very busy. I have multiple businesses, lots of people that I coach and train. For me, I just spend maybe 2 or 3 hours a day here and there being able to actually go into the markets, do market analysis here and there, and then just do my trades and then go about my day, right? So it really just depends on what you're looking to get out of it. And you have those options to kind of play around with it as well, especially if you are using trade alerts. Literally, it probably takes like 2 minutes to copy and paste that information into a trade, right? So it doesn't take a lot of time. Who trade alerts do you recommend? There are a few. One of my favorite ones is, so as you know, of course, I am a cryptocurrency educator. I currently have a partnership with an educational platform specifically that does trading. And so they provide great resources in terms of how to actually get access to those trade alerts. So definitely message me and I can kind of share you and kind of give you some information about that and how that works. How accurate are those alerts? So that's a great question. And that's why I say when you're starting to look for these different alerts, you want to get that type of information, right? See how credible they are, the track record. I know with that partnership with that academy that I have, their track record, to be honest with you, is actually really high, right? They're roughly about 85% accuracy, which is really high, right? And I think one of the reasons why it's so high is because they literally have like people, experts dedicated to one specific cryptocurrency. So we have one person that's dedicated to Bitcoin trades, someone else is dedicated to XRP trades, someone else for Ethereum. So they're really just dedicated. They understand how the cryptocurrency moves and they understand the key zones in the charts as well. So that's really one of the reasons. Let's see here. Do you trade cryptocurrency pairs or only crypto? So great question. So I actually do trade a few different things. I mainly trade crypto, but I do trade a little bit of Forex as well as some gold as well. So I do a little bit here and there. Can you set up these stop losses in CoinGecko? So CoinGecko is just a resource to get information about researching different cryptocurrencies. You're not actually going to be trading on that platform. Okay. Are you on LinkedIn? I'd love to connect. Yes, I am on LinkedIn. Definitely message me or connect with me on there, Ashley Wright. Or if you want to just connect in general, definitely you can always visit my website and connect with me there. That's always great information. Okay. But to kind of finish with this example, guys, so like I mentioned, you get that information, you go onto the different apps that they have, you plug that in, you find the one you're trading, which in this case is Bitcoin, right? And like I said, you can trade lots of different currencies. As soon as you click on trade, it'll actually take you to the trade screen. And this is literally showing you in 5 steps how you can go from copying and pasting that information and being able to profit right away, which is super exciting, okay? So literally when you get on that trading screen, you're literally gonna do just that. You're gonna copy that information, you're gonna paste in and just, or type in either or, right? That stop loss as well as that take profit, right? And like I said, this information is already given to you, okay? And that's why it's really exciting for people that are new to the space. You just copy and paste and you're able to take advantage of it. And just like that, of course, results are not always guaranteed and past performance doesn't dictate, future performance. But if you follow the right strategies and you follow the blueprint, as well as making sure that you practice risk management, that will ensure that you can see the results that you're looking for. Okay. But I also just want to provide some information on what's possible, literally being able to start trading from home. And literally right now, like all the trading I'm showing you, I'm doing it right from my phone. Right. So a lot of people love this because now, yes, even though we're in a pandemic, right, people are finding a way to actually make money from home just by leveraging or just trading cryptocurrency as well, which is phenomenal. Okay. Let's see some more questions here. You're not worth to invest in cryptocurrency. So when it comes to investing, actually, let's see here. What is the difference between cryptocurrency and Forex? So great question. I love that question. So from a trading perspective between crypto and Forex, cryptocurrency, of course, is a lot more volatile, so it moves a lot more, but that is a great thing, okay? The reason I say that is foreign exchange market, yes, you can make a lot of money with it, but once you start to understand the terminologies and understand what pips are, right, which is really just calculating the movement or how we measure the movement in the market. With Forex, you can get like a couple hundred pips here and there based on the trades. But when it comes to crypto, because it moves so much more, you can catch a couple thousand pips, right? And be able to really make, some good money just from doing a few trades versus having to do, multiple different trades, right? In Forex, just to be able to make the equivalent, right? Which is really important. The other key thing to keep in mind is cryptocurrency, that market is open 24/7. Right? Today's Saturday, I'm still trading, where the foreign exchange market is only open 5 days a week. So you cannot trade on the weekends. So just keep that in mind. But that's a great question. Let's see here. So many questions. In terms of market analysis, do you have a certain strategy? So yes, when it comes to marking up the charts, of course, there are different strategies that you can use. I think that everybody has a different strategy when it comes to their market analysis and certain tools or indicators that they like to use. Personally, I've had different people teaching me. Like when I first started, I was learning different strategies. Some people or some educators like to use a lot of different indicators. I've gone and learned from other educators that don't even use any. And for me, I actually don't even have to use indicators to be able to trade. So there's lots of different strategies, but it also just kind of depends what kind of works for you, what clicks for you as well. Okay, let's see here. Can you trade crypto anytime during the day? Yes, and that's why I love it 24/7. And also for those that are new to trading, I literally had another post. I highly recommend looking at this post before you dive into the trading aspect. Okay, why traders lose, right? And this is like, in order to be successful in trading, you also need to know what to be cautious of, and some of the reasons why people fail or lose a lot of money from trading, right? And this is really, really important because some of these things, and this is stuff people are doing consistently, and trading is a journey. You're not going to jump in and make significant money right off the bat, right? It is a journey if you're trying to get to the point where you can trade and make consistent profits, okay? But this post literally kind of goes over some of the key mistakes that people do. I'm not going to really go through all of them, okay? But highly recommend taking a look at this. And there's a lot of great resources. If you are interested in trading, one book I highly recommend, okay, is called Trading in the Zone. I'm going to try to type it in here in the group, actually. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. This book is phenomenal. Like, if anybody that I'm coaching and I'm working with when it comes to trading, I make this book mandatory. That's how important it is, because trading is actually, most of it is actually, is just mindset and mental, right? Not even so much skill. And so if you have the right mindset, then you'll be prepared to actually, be successful with this. So it's called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I highly recommend it. Please definitely do look into it, the audiobook or whatever. If you want to read it, definitely do so. But that is like mandatory if you're looking to trade, okay? Let's see here. What other socials are you on? So I am active on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. And for those that are on Clubhouse, I'm definitely all over that as well. So just message me. My handle's usually like The Right Success. That's it. But message me as well if you have a lot more questions. The other key thing that I wanted to mention, and this is the last thing before we wrap up actually, is to kind of touch on earning, right? So we talked about investing a little bit. We talked about trading. I want to really dive in a little bit into the earning aspect, because this is all about creating generational wealth. And in order to do that, as I mentioned, you have to take advantage of all three of these different income streams, okay? And one thing to keep in mind as well is if you have even kids or cousins or whoever it is, like, you can actually open accounts for people as well, right? I was talking to this lady, and she's telling me that she actually opened an account for her son, right? And instead of giving him money or allowance or buying him gifts for his birthday, she would just buy more Bitcoin for him, right? He may not fully understand it yet, but she is setting him up for success, right? And if you have people that, heard about crypto, but they're not really sure yet, if you really, really wanted to, if you're really trying to get them to understand it and change their mind, right? You could literally, give them, let's say $5, let them see how that grows in such a short period of time to allow them to really see what the potential in the space, okay? So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. Oh, perfect. Thank you. She dropped Trading in the Zone. Yes, it's phenomenal. So I highly recommend it. It's a phenomenal book, and it really sets you up the right mindset, okay? So the other thing I want to show you is going over back to Exodus. And now we're going to be talking just quickly about earning crypto. Exodus actually has a feature, and there's also a way that you're able to actually earn passively with cryptocurrency. Now, I'm not going to go through all the different methods because, like I said, there are quite a few. But one of the key ways is a term called staking. Okay, staking crypto. Okay, and what that is, think of it very similar to, let's see here. Think of staking very similar to how you have your savings account right now, okay? Now, with your savings account, a lot of us, you just have your money sitting there, but it's not really doing anything significant. Maybe they pay you a little bit of interest, right? With this is literally the same exact idea, but now you are able to actually make a lot more, right? And it's in crypto. So as you can see on this screen here, Exodus actually has that staking feature. Now, not every cryptocurrency has that feature, but a lot of them do. Okay, so as we look at here, they could refer to it as APY or rewards. Okay, so literally you can see for this cryptocurrency Cardano, right? If you have Cardano sitting in your Exodus wallet and you activate that staking feature, you will actually be earning 4.21% annually, right? Which is huge because like I said, most banks, they don't even give you that much in a savings account at all, right? And this is amazing. Now they literally are constantly updating this, and this is why I love it. Literally yesterday, I was seeing the new update. They just added another one, and the percentage on it is like, I was mind blown. Oh my goodness. It's now 20% annually, which is so huge. So people I know that are literally like closing their savings accounts with the banks, and now they're just putting all their money over here because they understand the potential. They understand that this is just another great way to create a lot of income as well. And the great part is, even though some of these cryptocurrencies that are at low price points, right, you're earning it consistently. And as the price point increases, so will your investment as well as your passive income. And that's what's really, really exciting, okay? You can see we have lots of different amounts in terms of the rewards. We have Atom here now, that's 10%, right? So there's a lot of different ones and it's constantly growing. And so staking, like I mentioned, is a great way to earn passive income, okay? How do you open an account for someone else with KYC? So some of them you don't have to do KYC, and that's the best way to go about it. So like I said, Exodus would be a great platform because you don't have to go through that. It's fully decentralized. They don't need your name, account number, like nothing of that, no ID. So that's probably the best way to go in terms of creating another account for someone. What's a good next level follow-up lecture for this one? So great question. So I do host different workshops from time to time. Right now, the next big thing that I am going to be doing is I have a crypto academy. So that one is a 4-week program that literally talks and teaches everybody a great introduction of all aspects of crypto. So it's a 4-week group coaching. It's a very small group coaching, right? You get access to me for 4 weeks. And literally, you know, we really break down everything. The first week, we'll talk a little bit more about the industry of crypto as well as blockchain, which really has a lot of potential, right? Especially when it comes to building wealth. Then we'll talk about investing and how to get started, how to actually set up your portfolio, security. We'll talk about trading crypto and a little bit of market analysis. And then the final week, we'll actually talk about different ways to actually start earning cryptocurrency or getting paid in crypto. So that program is going to be literally launching very, very soon. There is a wait list, right? But you can definitely join the list. And as soon as registration opens, you'll be notified to join. But that one is like a really great opportunity for you to get exposure to every aspect of cryptocurrency. In terms of workshops like these, I do these maybe every few months or so whenever I have time. I don't believe I have. Yeah, the only thing I can say is if you're on my newsletter, I'm always giving great tips, different articles, and also including any upcoming events that I'm hosting about crypto, business, and anything like that as well. So just make sure you stay connected and you'll be able to get notified about that. Okay, can you hold any crypto on Exodus? So great question. So Exodus does not have every single cryptocurrency. As you can see at the top, it has 132 at the moment. But what I love about it is they're constantly updating it, right? So when we look at a project like, let's scroll down a little, Polkadot, right? There was a time where Polkadot was not even part or available on Exodus, and then they added that update, right? Which is amazing. So now you can hold that on there. So there's a lot, they're always updating constantly with new projects. You can see Aave is on there now. Interesting. You can see that the graph was literally just updated like yesterday. So there's a lot of great updates within. They're constantly adding, but just make sure that whichever cryptocurrency you're going to invest in, you do your research in terms of which wallets can actually hold that cryptocurrency. Okay. Now, everybody, I do want to mention as well, before we are going to be wrapping up literally within a few minutes, but I want you guys to remember that there really is just those 3 ways to make money in crypto. And if you really are serious about getting the most out of the space, you have to take advantage of all 3 of those methods, okay? And that's so key, not only for yourself, but also starting to share that information with other people around you so they can actually take advantage of this new wave and be able to really dominate the market and be able to create income as well, okay? But nonetheless, I know you guys had tons and tons of great questions, and I totally love them. Keep in mind, if you are looking to stay connected, definitely do so. I'm always doing different workshops here and there. And as well, like I mentioned, the Crypto Academy is a little bit more of an intimate setting, but it's still a great way for you to stay in touch as well. Now, before I finish any event, right, I always love to ask, I actually like to mention a few things, but if this event was helpful, please just drop some ones in the chat. If you learned something new, if you heard about some new platforms that you really enjoyed, just drop some ones in the chat, please. And definitely, I'm so happy anytime I can share that information, because in order for mass adoption to happen and everybody to know about crypto, they have to be able to learn the information, right? And I'm all about helping people get involved the right way. Right. I honestly, it makes me so sad hearing those stories about people making a lot of money and then losing it very quickly as well. Right. It's all about building wealth and building wealth the right way as well. So I do want to say thank you so much for everybody for joining today's session. One thing I always love to end my workshops off with: when you look at your goals, when you look at your dreams and anything that you want to accomplish, always remember that it's possible, it's necessary, and it's worth it. So thank you so much for joining. My name is Ashley Wright, and I'm super excited, and thank you so much for joining. And once again, we'll always see you at the top.